Forward to 2022 to see whether these members of parliament will come back to wards and to our wards to ask for votes. Where they denied our people money, or they are going to stay in Nairobi. Mr. Speaker, it is very, very, very shameful that when they come here for funerals and everything, they challenge county government. They have not done the infrastructures of road. They have not given people water. When they ask by our people and people give them their need, they tell them go to the governor, go to the MCA. Yet when they go to the National Assembly, they refuse us money. Where do they expect us to do this work for? And we don't have enough resources to do that work. Mr. Speaker, in my case, I'm very disappointed, and I want this statement to go clearly to the 5 members or the 6 members of this county of Nyandarua, that as a representative of the people of Wajir, we are disappointed by them for failure to support this motion in the National Assembly. And if you look at the Constitution, constituency is not a unit of devolution, Mr. Speaker. And when these MPs, you know what happened essentially? Through devolution and passing of Constitution of 2010, it was supposed to scrap the CDF. The Constituency Development Fund was supposed to be scrapped. But what did the National Assembly do? They jealously protected the CDF by enacting a new Act, NGCDF. Mr. Speaker, today as we speak, the members of parliament, they have a fund. Yet constituency is not a unit of devolution. But when we come to the word, which is a unit of devolution, they reject the bill. Mr. Speaker, one of the principles of devolution is separation of power. And if you want to have a clear and a way where the county assemblies will have powers to oversight, then they need to be protected. And one of the issues that was happening by the Wadi Fund is to protect them, the MCAs, the members of county assembly. Why? Today, Mr. Speaker, and you are aware, we sit in this assembly, but for money to get into our wards, we have what we call a gentleman agreement between ourselves and the governor and the executive, whereby we have dubbed ourselves to have irreducible minimum. The governor can accept or reject, and this assembly can do nothing because we can only change 1% of the budget. I think the governor, because he agrees on the gentleman agreement of irreducible minimum, where such if each and every ward gets something for development, what we call ward development projects. What if we have governors, and we know in this country there are governors who don't agree with the assembly? We have governors who decide where the projects to go. So what happens? The members of assembly are left, there is a carrot. If you want your people to get development, then you have to support me. And they are not free to speak. They are not free to oversight. They are not free to question the executive because they don't have powers. And this is what we were trying to do through the word development fund. Because each and every MCA could be given the money, the people at the ward level could decide what they want.
And majority of the work, or majority of the money, or majority of the developmental issues that go to Wananchi are based on the county government, Mr. Speaker. Today, Nyandarua is receiving 4.9. If you reduce from 4.9 billion, you reduce the salaries and the others, it will be 2.2. You go and we are going to remain with 2.7. Then reduce the assembly money, reduce the grant, Mr. Speaker. You are going to realize it is only 1.2 billion, Mr. Speaker, that can directly be subjected to the vote, Mr. Speaker. God comes in, Mr. Speaker, Senate approves that we are going to be added a little point, Mr. Speaker, to the member, to our constituent, Mr. Speaker, and the 12th Parliament says no, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it shows a lot of selfishness, Mr. Speaker. When they were approving the pension, Mr. Speaker, of one-time MPs, Mr. Speaker, 100,000, Mr. Speaker, they unanimously voted that one in, Mr. Speaker. And they never included the other legislators, Mr. Speaker, the MCAs, Mr. Speaker. I don't know what is the difference. Yeah, it is not the subject of discussion, Mr. Speaker, but we are trying to tell our people, Mr. Speaker, the selfishness that these people have, Mr. Speaker. That motion, Mr. Speaker, was approved within no time, Mr. Speaker, but this one that is taking a little coin, Mr. Speaker, to our people, Mr. Speaker, cannot see the light of the day, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as we are sitting here in this assembly, we have already received circulars, Mr. Speaker, of the degrading of road, Mr. Speaker. Almost all roads that we are done by Kenya there before, Mr. Speaker, have been degraded to county government, Mr. Speaker. Anywhere, we were not able to sustain the road that we are there, Mr. Speaker, and today others have already been degraded, and when an opportunity to bring a coin to substantively do the work, Mr. Speaker, the MPs vote no, thinking that we are going to go for their seat, Mr. Speaker. As I quote what you always say, do your work, Mr. Speaker, and then you go. People will decide, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, we are not happy about the same, Mr. Speaker. We were frustrated. Were it not for the agreement, Mr. Speaker, that we sit down and agree on equitable shares, Mr. Speaker, to our ward, Mr. Speaker, it can be very dangerous when you are carrying your oversight, Mr. Speaker. Anywhere a governor can decide, I'm not saying Francis Peter Kimemi, I'm saying a governor in this country, Mr. Speaker, can sit and decide to make sure that the part of the country will not be developed, Mr. Speaker, based on the issue of questions and the oversight, Mr. Speaker. If that one happens, the MCAs and the people, the electorate of that one, Mr. Speaker, have nowhere to go. So it is very shameful. I don't know what will happen if a mediation is going to come, but it is important, Mr. Speaker. We, as county assemblies, we should wake up, go and tell our people we had an opportunity of adding the little we are doing, and wow, unto you, it was denied by the Toronto Parliament. So I also would urge, because I don't have the power to tell the president, but if one day I wake up and see the signature in left hand, Mr. Speaker, I will be happy they go home. Let them come and get votes from the people. They denied money, Mr. Speaker.
And from today, me, I have decided any meeting where I will be with our MP, before he addresses the people, I will ask him to tell the people why he refused the people from Kirita to get some additional allocation so that their life can change. And if we do that, the whole country, I think, Mr. Speaker, the bill will pass the following morning. So I think we need to push so that they can do it. Because if we keep quiet, there's nothing we are going to get. We'll end up talking, and after 2022, everything will be zero.
You know, if Parliament cannot consider a matter to help Wajiko, why does it exist? Why does it exist? If I say, if the MPs from this county, starting from Mheshimiwa Kioni, Mheshimiwa Moshera, Mheshimiwa Kiaraho, Mheshimiwa Kemunya, leader of majority, and Mheshimiwa Kwenya, and Mheshimiwa Faith, if they cannot support such a matter that is going to bring money to Wajiko, why do they exist? And Mr. Speaker, that is why I am saying in my motion, I support the sentiment by the Chief Justice that Parliament of Kenya cannot be in existence if it, in its own way, it cannot fulfill some of its own and very right mandate of representing Mwananchi. And why do we say they are supposed to represent Mwananchi? You should make sure that money goes to Wajiko. But Mr. Speaker, when you deny Wajiko money, when you deny Wajiko services, why do you exist? I do not see why we have that Parliament. And Mr. Speaker, because it has been said that Parliament of Kenya is unconstitutional, then I would also want to echo myself with those sentiments and say, then that Parliament should not exist, and that Parliament should pack and go, and then we have a Parliament that thinks about Wajiko, Mr. Speaker. The Parliament that can sit down in the morning and make a resolution to give Wajiko more services. Not a Parliament that can sit down and say, oh, I'm going to give money to Kiero so that Kiero can become an MP. I am not interested to become an MP if I have not been able to deliver services to Wajiko when I am an MCA. How can I deliver when I'm an MP when I did not deliver when I was an MCA? And people should know that, Mr. Speaker, some of us have the passion of Wajiko at heart. And so therefore, when everything is taken to be political, then, Mr. Speaker, this country loses direction. And so therefore, we need to declare and we need to support the president. And whatever the president decides about making parliament to go home, we will support, Mr. Speaker. And secondly, Mr. Speaker, when we want that parliament to be constitutionally constituted, even the issues of the reasons as to why it is wrongly constituted, Mr. Speaker, we all know by the making of our constitution. And so therefore, if that parliament has no Wajiko at heart, it then should pack and go. And the last, Mr. Speaker, resolution I was seeking, I have already talked about, is when at CAF, Mr. Speaker, you deal with that matter and help us properly to make sure that we give our public the resources that they require, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, as I sit down, and I believe every county assembly is properly constituted. And so therefore, when it comes to even making sure that we are followers of the law, I believe county assemblies are better than that National Assembly. Because in this country, every county assembly is constitutionally constituted by the rules of gender rule. But that National Assembly, Mr. Speaker, it has not. And the ignorance, Mr. Speaker, depicted by that National Assembly, after the advice of the Chief Justice, Mr. Speaker, you can see the comments that the parliamentarians have been making. They have been making very selfish demands. And you realize that their demands are only protecting their position. Protecting their position. It is not protecting Wajiko. So therefore, Mr. Speaker, 2 years to the election, I declare and I demand, as the request of the Chief Justice are, so be it by the President, they dissolve that parliament, it is not helping Wajiko. Not unless they sit down and reconsider what, Mr. Speaker, Wajiko requires, then Wajiko will have trust and confidence in them, Mr. Speaker. Now the matter has failed. It was passed by the Senate and it was failed by the National Assembly. The bill, by Mr. Speaker, might now go to what we call mediation. Because Senate has passed, National Assembly has failed it. And the reasons they give are very funny. That it was a money bill, it was supposed to come from the National Assembly, then to the Senate. Not from the Senate to the National Assembly. Those are bureaucracies. It's okay, they can be dealt with at a later date. But Mr. Speaker, in your county assemblies forum, where you sit, I know you are very able. And I know you have spearheaded this matter to go to where it is today. I want to request and I want to enjoin my comments and my observations with the desires of the public of this county. That, Mr. Speaker, in your capacity as chairman of County Assemblies Forum, you should rally all the county assemblies in this country to rise against the decision by the National Assembly. And, Mr. Speaker, prepare a detailed report that you are going to present before the mediation committee of the National Assembly and the Senate, so that, Mr. Speaker, there is a solution between the two houses. And when there will be a solution, we believe, Mr. Speaker, that there will be white smoke at the end of the day, and we might end up giving our people more money in their villages, and they might end up getting more services in the villages, Mr. Speaker.
As county assemblies, we are going to ensure that during the mediation, that enough pressure is applied for the MPs to do the right thing. And by this, as it has also been alluded to by the member for Greater, I would be requesting our members of County Assembly that whenever they meet their MPs in public meetings, wherever you meet them, it is good that they are requested to explain to the public why they denied the money for the development. And actually, I would say with the utmost respect that our National Assembly is becoming rogue, that it has denied the wards money, it has previously denied women their space, and now they have also denied the Senate money to do their oversight role pursuant to Article 96 of the Constitution. And therefore, I think all these stakeholders should come together and tell the National Assembly that it is there to serve the interests of this country and not to undermine the interests of this country.